What is going on, guys? The Tom Brady-Peyton Manning rivalry is long gone, unless we're talking about on the golf course. But Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are poised to lead the next great quarterback rivalry in football. These two young phenoms have emerged as the ultimate game changers, each winning the MVP award in their second NFL season. So which player would you rather have lead your team? Here are 5 reasons why Mahomes is better and 5 reasons for Jackson. Number 5, Mahomes. His 2018 MVP season. In his first full year as a starter, Mahomes put together one of the greatest quarterback seasons of all time. He completed 66% of his passes for 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions en route to the league MVP award. Mahomes became just the 3rd quarterback in history to throw for 50-plus touchdowns in a season, joining Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in the historic club. But stats alone don't do justice for Mahomes' 2018 season. He was the ultimate highlight reel, whether it was throwing a pass with his left hand, completing no-look passes, or throwing a 48-yard dart across his body while under pressure. Mahomes simply did it all in 2018. Oh, and if it weren't for Dee Ford's costly offside penalty in the 2018 AFC Championship game, Mahomes in Kansas City would have reached Super Bowl 53, and they would have ended the New England Patriots dynasty right then and there. Mahomes, in just one season, asserted himself as the new face of the NFL. His 2018 season was by far one of the top 3 quarterback campaigns in history. And again, this was only his first season as a starter. It's pretty crazy. As good as Jackson is, can we realistically expect him to hit Mahomes' 2018 level of dominance? It's kind of unlikely. Number 5, Jackson. His 2019 MVP season. On the flip side, Jackson had quite the special MVP season of his own in 2019. And like Mahomes, Jackson won the award in his first full season as a starter. While Mahomes torched opposing defenses with his rocket arm and unhuman-like abilities, Jackson flat out dominated as a dual-threat force. Many were skeptical about Jackson repeating the success from his 2018 rookie season, given how run-fast quarterbacks don't tend to last long in today's NFL. But the Ravens decided to build their offense entirely around Jackson's talents, and it worked out to near perfection. Not only did Jackson lead the NFL with 36 touchdown passes, he also rushed for a whopping 1,206 yards, the most ever in a single season for a quarterback. Think about that. He led the league in touchdown passes, while racking up a historic amount of rushing yards as a signal caller. Maybe Jackson didn't throw for 50 touchdown passes like Mahomes did in 2018, but on the flip side, Mahomes didn't record 1,206 rushing yards. You can't go wrong with either. But if you like your quarterbacks to be of the dual threat variety, then Lamar is your guy based on his 2019 performance. Number 4, Mahomes. The Super Bowl ring. I mean, football fans and pundits love using Super Bowl rings to compare quarterbacks. So those who prefer to keep the argument short and sweet can simply point out that Mahomes beats Lamar in this regard. I mean, Mahomes already has 4 playoff wins under his belt. Jackson has 0. Mahomes could very well have 2 Super Bowl rings if not for the aforementioned Dee Ford offside penalty. They both became starters in the 2018 season. They both have Super Bowl winning head coaches. They both have MVP seasons on their resumes. Their career records as starters are very similar. So what ultimately settles the debate? A Super Bowl ring. Mahomes 1, Jackson 0. Next, number 4, Jackson, Heisman Trophy. Okay, so those on Team Mahomes want to start using rings and individual accolades. Well, 2 can play that game. Those on Team Jackson can simply point out that the former Louisville Cardinal won the Heisman Trophy in 2016. He beat out the likes of Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield for the honors after completing 56.2% of his passes for 3,543 yards and 30 touchdowns against 9 interceptions. Jackson also recorded 1,571 yards and an astonishing 21 rushing touchdowns. That's just one way of looking at it. We're comparing 2 quarterbacks who only have 2 starting seasons on their resumes. Those who think Jackson is better can simply point out all of his college success. Without a doubt, he was better than Mahomes on that front. Jackson also won the 2016 Maxwell and Walter Camp Awards. Mahomes captured the Sammy Baugh Trophy in 2016. But otherwise, Jackson trumps him when it comes to college accolades. Number 3, Mahomes. Less turnover prone. Any great quarterback simply has to learn to protect the football. Jameis Winston led the NFL in passing yards during the 2019 season, but nobody's calling him elite because he also threw 30 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Mahomes, all of these elite quarterbacks know how to protect the football. And when you compare Mahomes to Jackson, it's quite clear which guy is better at avoiding turnovers. Now, Mahomes has 18 career interceptions compared to Jackson's 9, but Mahomes has played 9 more games, and he's attempted 528 more passes. Mahomes' interception percentage is 1%. Jackson's is 1.5%. But the real difference is with the fumbles, where Mahomes Mahomes has 11 compared to Jackson's 20. To Jackson's credit, he's not your typical young quarterback that tries to get overly cute. He knows when to cut his losses and throw the ball away. He's not turning it over at high rates like Winston, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, or some other young quarterbacks around the league. When you compare these two, there's no contest. Mahomes is simply safer and more responsible with the football. If Jackson wants to be a consistent 1,000-yard rushing threat, he's going to have to learn to hang on to the ball a little better. Number 3, Jackson does more with less. Both Mahomes and Jackson have future Hall of Fame coaches and all. They both benefit greatly from excellent offensive lines, but there's really no denying that Mahomes has enjoyed a superior supporting cast. Tyreek Hill is the fastest wide receiver in the NFL. He's the cheetah, and he's arguably the top 5 guy at the position. Travis Kelce is arguably the best tight end in the NFL. Sammy Watkins, Damian Williams, and McCole Hardman are excellent number 3, 4, and 5 options too. Jackson has a nice set of running backs led by Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards, but we can't really say either of them are top 5 or 7 guys at the position. Mark Andrews should be a star for years to come, but he's not on Kelce's level yet. Marquise Brown had a superb rookie year, but again, let's not compare him to Hill just yet. Mahomes can easily succeed with burners like Watkins and Hill on the outside. They're one-on-one matchup nightmares, and they're always getting open downfield. Kelce's always gonna get open in the middle, while Williams serves nicely as a pass-catching option out of the backfield. Jackson, on the other hand, is getting it done with a set of very good weapons, but none of his playmakers can be classified as elite. So you can easily argue that Jackson is better because he's getting it done with a supporting cast that isn't on the same level as Mahomes. Number 2, Mahomes. More clutch, better playoff performer. It's obviously a short sample size, and who knows, maybe Jackson will end up winning 2 or 3 more rings than Mahomes when all is said and done, but we simply have to go with what we've seen so far, and Mahomes has simply been the more clutch performer between these two guys. Jackson struggled big time in his first 2 playoff losses, both coming on home field in rather ugly fashion. Mahomes won 4 of his first 5 playoff games. His first loss? Yeah, just an overtime shootout against the Patriots dynasty in the AFC title game. It was a close game, like really close. And again, he was a non-D Ford penalty or an overtime coin toss away from winning that game. Just remember, Mahomes dropped 31 points on Bill Belichick's defense in the second half of that contest, and they still lost. That's crazy. Lucky for him, the Chiefs defense finally showed up in the 2019 postseason. Mahomes rallied his Chiefs from 24-0 down in the 2019 AFC divisional round against the Houston Texans. He rallied them from 10 points down against the Tennessee Titans in the AFC title game, and he rallied them from 10 points down midway through the 4th quarter in Super Bowl 54. Simply put, Mahomes a beast, and if Mahomes is trailing in the 4th quarter with the ball in his hands, you know it's not going to end well for the opposing defense. So far, Jackson hasn't shown the ability to rally his team when they're trailing in the big game, hence the 0-2 playoff record. There's still time to change all that, but for the time being, Mahomes gets the nod over Lamar in the clutch department. Number 2, Jackson improved his team more. Not to take anything away from Mahomes or deny his greatness, but before he became the starter in 2018, the Chiefs were coming off 5 straight winning seasons with Alex Smith at the helm. This included 4 double-digit win seasons and consecutive AFC West Division titles. The Ravens were mired in mediocrity before Jackson came along. After their Super Bowl 47 championship season, the Ravens proceeded to miss the playoffs in 4 of the next 5 years. They only hit double-digit wins once over that span. The Ravens were 4-5 in the midst of the 2018 season before Jackson came along. Joe Flacco could simply elevate a team that fielded a powerful rushing game and a consistent top 5 defense. Then Jackson stepped in and won 6 of 7 starts to guide Baltimore to its first division title in 6 years. And he followed that up with an MVP season in 2019, leading the Ravens to a league-best 14 wins. Mahomes essentially finished what Smith couldn't. He took over a star-studded team and got them to the Super Bowl. Jackson, on the other hand, took a frustratingly mediocre team and made them a bona fide championship contender. So when comparing who is more valuable to their team, it's easy to make a case for Jackson. And of course, being more valuable to your team is a strong indicator of who's the better player. But also, Mahomes has a Super Bowl, and also, it's not like he's not valuable to his team, so, take that with a grain of salt. Number 1, Mahomes. The arm, talent, and ability to make all the throws. Style or substance? Jackson's in a class of his own as far as a dual-threat running back goes. Mahomes is part of a deep class of all-time great pocket passers that includes future Hall of Famers Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, and Russell Wilson. However, none of these guys can match Mahomes in terms of overall talent. His arm is simply out of this world. Remember that time he casually threw a 100-yard pass in warm-ups prior to a 2018 game against the Broncos? Yeah, dude, that's kind of nuts. And again, who can forget the left-handed pass, the no-look pass, and all those insane cross-body throws? No other quarterback in the NFL can consistently pull off all those those miracle passes like Patty does. In regards to arm strength and pinpoint accuracy, Mahomes is in his own class. How many times have we seen him convert on 3rd and 20? How many times has he escaped several sacks only to find a guy wide open downfield for a 30-plus yard gain? It's not a stretch to say that we've never seen a quarterback as skilled as him. Quite frankly, we really haven't. And he only has 2 full seasons under his belt. 2. He can go for like another 20 probably. Think about what's yet to come. That's like, it's honestly incomprehensible. Number 1, Jackson. The speed, legs, and ground attack. Mahomes may turn the ball over less, but on the flip side, Jackson turns it over more because he's also far more dynamic as far as the rushing game is concerned. Wouldn't you take a 1,000-yard rusher at quarterback, even if it means a few more fumbles? That's one argument that you can make for Jackson being better. Mahomes has impressive mobility in the pocket, and like Jackson, his legs can help him make something out of nothing. But let's be real here. Mahomes can't run the ball like Lamar can. Mahomes is so hard to game plan against because of his ridiculous arm and the ability to make the most impossible of throws. When it comes to crafting a game plan against Jackson though, teams merely have to pick their poison. Do you want to force him to pass, or do you want to force him to run? Even though the Ravens were throttled by the Tennessee Titans in the 2019 AFC Divisional Round, Jackson still had 365 passing yards and 143 rushing yards. The Titans didn't stop Jackson. They simply contained him. And even that's a pretty rare feat. Most other defensive coordinators haven't been able to come close to containing him. But there's no shame in preferring a guy who can do equal damage as a runner. Jackson is just as dangerous because of his speed, quickness, and elusiveness as a rusher. But again, it's all about preference. Who do you think is the better quarterback between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, we are on everything. Go find us. Go subscribe, like, do the whole thing. TPS posts great memes. I post videos and tweets and Instagrams and all that stuff. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click down below, and subscribe to TPS. We post videos every day. Every day is a new video. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. See you next time.
My knee.